Hello, welcome to this video guitar lesson. I'm very excited that I'm going to be showing you how to play All Right Now today. This is a song I've played lots in loads of different bands. It's a really good party tune. People love listening to it and singing along. And if you're privileged enough to know other musicians like a drummer and a bass player, you know, and you can jam this, then this is great fun. It's nice and simple. So what I'm going to show you today is going to sound like this. Okay, obviously that's the main riff, and then eventually we get to the chorus, which will sound like this. Alright, it's nice and powerful and punchy, isn't it? But as well as that, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to show you the solo as well, and I'm going to even show you that in two parts. There's this bit. Which is actually played by the bass guitar, but I'm going to actually show you the proper guitar solo that's halfway through the song as well. Okay, so we've got a lot to get through. I'm using the rock sound on the amp. I've turned the distortion up a little bit just to give it that crunch. Okay, so if you want to do the same on your amp, then that'd be great. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to start with what is basically an A chord, but it's a different A to what you're used to playing. We're going to do it like this. Use your first finger to lay across the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string at fret 2 and hold it down nice and flat. Now extend your little finger all the way up to fret 5, and the little finger is going to hold down the 1st and 2nd string at fret 5. Now some of you at this point will be thinking, Jesus, I can't play that, that's too much of a stretch. Now I just want to tell you about one thing. Some of you might have your hand position like this with the palm touching the back of the neck, in which case it'll make it more difficult to stretch out. So what I can suggest is bringing your wrist round and down, and that'll make it easier to spread out. So what's going to happen is, if you look at the chord diagram next to me and make sure you've got the right notes there, you're going to use the plectrum to strum 5 strings downwards. We're not using the 6th string. And it should sound like that. Now here's a suggestion. If it's too difficult for you to spread that little finger up, what you can do is just use the basic A shape like that with your first finger, okay? But for the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to use the little finger across those 2 strings at fret 5 as well. Okay, so give it a pluck. Excellent. Now what you're going to do is just pluck the 5th string open momentarily, like that. And now, keep your first finger where it is, flat across those strings, but put your middle finger on the 2nd string at fret 3. And then put the 3rd finger on the 4th string at fret 4. Look at the chord diagram next to me just to check you got it right. And you're going to pluck strings 4, 3 and 2. Like that. And then once you've done that, you're going to go back to the original A shape. Okay, so when we join that together, we've got the A, the 5th string open, and then this shape, and then the A again. So, okay, you can hear the riff starting to emerge now. Now what we're going to do is pluck the 5th string open again, just momentarily like that, just quite softly. Now, you're going to use these 2 fingers, the middle finger on the 2nd string at fret 3, similar to what we did just now, and the 4th string at fret 4, but this time we're not using this first finger. And what happens is you're going to pluck the 4th string downwards, and what happens is the 3rd string and the 1st string are open. Like that, okay? So just to make that clear, we're not plucking the 6th and 5th string, just the 4th string downwards. And you're going to play down, up, down, up, down. Okay, it sounds a bit strange. And at this point, put your first finger back on across fret 2. Technically, we're only going to be using the 3rd string at fret 2. So if you want to, you can just put your first finger on the 3rd string. And at this point, I want you to do a very similar thing. Down, up, down, up, down. But really, this time, we're just focusing on the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. I don't particularly want you to hit the 1st string. Okay, so if we join that little bit together, what we've got is the 5th string open, then these 2 fingers, and then put the first finger on, and then at that point I want you to go back to the A. So if I play that at a faster pace, right. Now let me demonstrate the whole riff from the start. And at full speed. Okay, and there you can see once you speed it up, the energy starts to come then, okay? You'll have to work on that. It'll probably take quite a lot of practice. I can remember when I first learned this, and it didn't come easily at first. I had to play it many times in order to make it sound smooth, and it'll be the same for you. So what I'm trying to say is just have patience, all right? Good. So, what eventually happens when they've played that riff round and round several times over the verse, the chorus comes in, which is the bit where they sing all right now, and they play this. Okay, right. It's nice and simple actually. First finger goes on the 4th string at fret 7. And we're going to make a power chord by using the other finger, the 3rd finger, on the 3rd string at fret 9. I hope that makes sense. And if you look at the chord chart, you can see those dots next to me. And just pluck the 4th and 3rd string 3 times, like that. Now use your middle finger to come across onto the 5th string at fret 9, and then go down to the 5th string at fret 7. So that will sound like this. And now we're going to use this power chord, but this time on the 4th string at fret 5 and the 3rd string at fret 7. Okay, and then at that point we're going to adapt it. We're going to take the first finger down to the 4th string at fret 4, and the little finger is going to play the 3rd string at fret 7. And you're going to pluck those strings twice. And at that point we go back to the first power chord, which was the 4th string at 7 and the 3rd string at 9. Okay, don't worry if you haven't memorised that perfectly straight away, you know. Let me play it in slow motion. And at full speed. And you'll want to repeat that a few times, okay? So that is the chorus riff. And I might as well remind you at this point that when you downloaded this video, this lesson also came with a PDF document that contains all the tab and all the notes, and it'll tell you what sequence to play all this in, okay? So I don't want you to be worrying and thinking, oh God, you know, how many times do I play the first bit? When do I go to the second bit? That is all explained in that document. All right, so although that is the proper way of playing the chorus, I also want to give you a different way of playing it, because I think that the real way sounds great if you've got a band and a bass guitar and a piano and a drum kit and a singer with you. But if you're playing on your own, I want to show you some sort of thicker chords that will make it sound more full. And you can do it like this. Alright, you can see it's a bit beefier, isn't it? And if you're just playing acoustic guitar, or if you're playing on your own or playing at a party, then it's perhaps going to be better to use that chorus so people can sing over the top. Right, now that's basically just an A chord, and you know how to do that just using your first finger across strings 4, 3 and 2 at fret 2. 1, 2, 3. Same rhythm as when we played the chorus up here. Now you'll notice I'm using my thumb to gently touch the 6th string, and that mutes it. So, for example, if I pluck the 6th string, you can hear it's dead because the thumb's touching it. And what that means is I can strum the guitar really powerfully without worrying about whether I'm accidentally going to pluck the 6th string, okay? Because I don't want to hear the 6th string. And you'll notice that I'm playing the note and then I'm using the palm to stop it dead, so we get a nice short sharp sound like this. So you can practice that in your own time. Now play the 6th string at fret 2 and then open, and then play a G chord. I expect you know the G. It's the middle finger on the 6th string at fret 3, the first finger on the 5th string at fret 2, the 3rd finger on the 2nd string at fret 3, and the little finger on the 1st string at fret 3. Just check the chord box next to me to make sure you got it right. Give it a strum. And then play a D chord, 3rd string at fret 2, middle finger on the 1st string at fret 2, and the third finger on the second string at fret 3. Okay, just pause the video if you need to check it. And with a D, remember, we just pluck the 4th strings. That means I'm plucking the 4th string downwards. Twice, like that. Okay, so if I play it up to there, what we've got is this. A 3 times, and then G, and then D twice, and then play the 6th string at fret 2 again, and then open, and then go back to the A. There you go. So when you join that together, just in slow motion, and then the D, and at full speed, God, it is fun to play this song. I love playing that riff. It really sounds tight, doesn't it? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the solo, and the bass line for the solo sounds like this. And you're probably thinking, but Ben, why are you showing me the bass line? Oh, well, it sounds cool. You know, I thought I'd show it to you anyway. So that's the 5th string open 3 times, and then the 6th string open, and then at fret 2 on the 6th string, and then the 5th string open twice more, and then the 6th string open, and then fret 2 again. So if I join it together, and then play the 5th string at fret 10, and we're basically doing a power chord. You hold down the 5th at 10, and you use the other finger on the 4th string at fret 12, and pluck the 5th string, then the 4th string, and then just take your 1st finger down a fret, so it's now at fret 9, but the 3rd finger remains on fret 12, like that. Okay, so when we join it together, you might want to use your little finger on the 4th string, and that will make it easier when you spread out. Okay, and what happens is they repeat those 2 parts round and round and round and round throughout the whole solo. I don't know how many times it is. It's probably about 16 times or something. Okay, I'll specify that in the PDF document. So now the actual solo sounds like this. So there's a lot of slides in this solo, and there's quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to move fairly rapidly rather than explaining each little section several times and doing it in slow motion. So what you might have to do in this case is just pause the video at each part and just practice each section I've showed you, and if you need to, watch the video a few times, okay? But you know, there's a lot to get through, so I need to move through it. So we're going to start by sliding. If you put your 3rd finger on the 4th string at fret 5 and give it a pluck and slide to fret 7. Now you should be able to slide quite easily. You just need to hold the pressure down on the string, give it a pluck, and then move your finger up to the fret 7. Like that. And it's quite quick. Okay, and then once you've done that, slide from fret 7 to fret 9 on the 4th string. And then what they do is slide from fret 7 to fret 9 again. And now this time from 9 back to fret 7. Okay, and you'll notice I'm using a bit of vibrato on the end of the slide. Just to wiggle the string a bit. It just makes it sound cool. And then slide from 7 to 9 again. And 9 back to 7. And now this time you're going to slide from the 3rd string at fret 7 up to fret 9. And then from 9 up to fret 11, and then from fret 11 back to fret 9. And then play fret 9 on its own, and then pluck it again and slide to 11, and back again. Okay, so for the next bit, what we're going to do is put the 3rd finger on the 3rd string at fret 4, and we're going to bend the string. And what I want you to do is use these 2 fingers on the 3rd string as well to help push, like this. Okay, now that's easier said than done. You might have to practice that quite a bit in order to, you know, get the hang of it. That's perfectly normal. So bend the string. Now put the little finger on the 1st string at fret 5 whilst you're still bending the string, and give it a pluck. So it'll sound like this. Okay, and then release the bend, and I want you to pluck it again and bend up and down like this. And then go off to the 3rd string at fret 2. So when we join it together, it'll sound like this. Okay, now it goes like this. So what I did there was slide up the second string all the way up to the second string at fret 10. And you can start anywhere, just pluck it and give it a bit of vibrato. Now here's the exciting bit, we're going to play this. Okay, now it's not as difficult as it looks actually. Now on the guitar, let me just tell you where I am. This fret here is fret 12, this shape. So on your guitar, there's probably 2 dots there. So the next dot up is fret 15, and the next dot up is fret 17. That's where we're playing this bit. So hold your first finger flat across strings 1 and 2, both at fret 17. So if you pluck them both, they should both, you know, come through nice and clear, all right? So what you're going to do is pluck the second string and use your little finger to hammer onto fret 20, okay? It's going to sound like this. You know how to do a hammer because I showed you that in the free 12-part course. It's a case of plucking the note once and then whacking that finger down so it creates the next note. And then pluck the first string, which is already held down by fret 17. And you're going to do that 5 times, okay? And just to be specific, I'm plucking, with my plectrum, I'm plucking downwards with the hammer, and then I'm plucking upwards on the first string. So 5 times. And at that point, we're gonna bend the second string at fret 20. And I'm using my little finger. You can use your third finger if you want to, and use a few hit fingers to help push. And then once we've done that, we're going to go like this. Okay, what that is the first finger laying flat still across fret 17, across both strings. Pluck the first string, then the second string. And then we're going to bend the first string at fret 20 up, and then we're going to release it and bend up and then play it normally. Like that. So if we join it together, and then play the first string at 17, and then play the second string at 20, and then play the first string at 20. You can see I'm using my little finger there. And then pluck the second string at 20 and bend up like that. So if I join that section together, it'll sound like this. Okay, now maintain that bend, hold that string up, and then release it, and then bend it up again, and then back down again, and then step off onto the second string at fret 19, back up to fret 20, back down to fret 19, and then off to fret 17. I know what you're thinking, that's a lot of notes, it's a lot of bends, it's a long way up the neck, and it seems quite difficult. But you know, as usual, you just need to take it step by step and practice each section. That's the way I did it, okay? So let me just demonstrate that whole last section. And at that point, you can slide down the neck and hit an E power chord like this. And what it really is the middle finger on the 5th string at fret 2, and then the 4th string at fret 2 as well. And use a plectrum just to pluck strings 6, 5, and 4. Like that, okay? And then at that point, we go back into the chorus. Okay, now, after showing you all that, I couldn't leave you without just showing you that whole solo in slow motion all the way through, okay? So it'll sound like this. Okay, I think you get the idea. There you go. It's actually a fairly simple song, to be honest. So just practice each bit, join it all together, look at the PDF document so you know what to do when, and there you go. Enjoy yourself, have fun, play it to your friends, and you know, enjoy playing this song. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon in one of the other video guitar lessons, and we can learn some more rock together. And always email me and let me know how you're getting on. You're more than welcome to get in touch with me. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.